It's warming up. Come on, jazz hands. Come on, Clover Tack. Let's see a jazz hands. There he goes. Clover Tack is jazz handing it up. Ooh, oh, he's giving us some kind of moose signal. Walter's also going with the moose. I guess I got to go with the moose jazz hands myself.
Winkle for you.
Oh, is that? What about this one?
Rocky.
Go backwards. Okay, we are live. I hope you have your airtight space big girl panties on tonight. This is episode 210 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast, coming to you live from the Strange Media Studios in Gainesville. And the subject of our show tonight is let's talk about Trump's Space Force. And as Walter puts it, is this the final frontier?
No, space, the final frontier.
Yeah, that William Shatner, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
William Shatner.
Priceline, the final frontier.
Yeah. Welcome to Friday, everyone. Welcome to Friday. You're probably thinking, "Oh, this is a joke." They are not on this gorgeous Friday gonna talk about. Yes, we are. We are talking about Space Force tonight. Yes, we are ready to do it. And there goes some young cadets from Space Force. I see Porky Pig. I see Duck Dodgers in the 24th and a half century. Marvin the Martian right there. Yes. Awesome. I call dibs on that, Walter.
This one is actually real artwork from Virgil Ross, one of the guys who did that stuff.
Oh, very cool.
So,
yeah.
This is probably going to end. Well, I won't say where it's going because she might. Anyways.
Yeah, very cool. I love Duck Dodgers actually in the 24th and a half century. One of my favorite shows. What do you think, Clover Tack?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Definitely. So Clover's here. He had no idea. Yeah, Clover had no idea what we're going to talk about because I literally decide what I'm going to talk about like 2 minutes before I start the show.
It's like amateur hour up in here.
Yes. That's how we roll, yo.
Sure. Yeah.
Spontaneous.
Yeah, that's how we roll. And the reason why Walter is also here, Walter from Safety Harbor Firearms, there he goes. What kind of hat is he? I don't know what the hell is on his hat.
That is from the Aircraft Firefighting Museum in where is that place at again?
Okay, you just blinded us, but okay, fine.
In Graybill, Wyoming, actually. Museum of Flight and Aerial Firefighting, Graybill, Wyoming. Yeah.
Okay, very cool, very cool. So, the reason why I decided to talk about this, I know that this has been up for a couple of weeks probably, right? But I was on vacation. I didn't get a chance to talk about it. I figured it's a good thing to talk about on a Friday with the folks. We'll talk about this and other things, but I really want to get into this. Some people think it's a joke. Some people think it's a good idea. I want to know what you guys think. So let us know right now. Start letting us know if you think, hey, this is a great idea. This idea sucks. You don't know. Do you want to join the Space Force? Let us know. Clover, before I'm gonna shout out everyone in the chat, but Clover, what do you think about this like real quickly here in the top?
I'm just wondering if they're going to use if their motto is going to be to boldly go where no man has gone before, because if they do that, none of them can go to Stormy Daniels' house. I'm just saying.
Well, when you said where no man has gone before, I was thinking about Whoopi Goldberg from yesterday.
Well, that's probably true too. I didn't want to go back down that rabbit hole. I think
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
They were talking about her on the radio today when I was driving around, and that whole thing about her. The JJ and all that stuff.
Oh, were they?
I think
what did they say?
People were just the guys talking about were just as grossed out as we were. So,
yeah. I'm still grossed out. So, welcome to everyone here in the chat, hanging out with us. On Friday. Yes, it's Friday. It's finally here. And, don't forget to hit the thumbs ups because we need those. We need to help build up this audience here, get folks piling in. Hopefully people will come in and join this conversation about space right here. Just like bookmark this episode 210, Who Moved My Freedom, Hank Strange, Clover Tack. There he goes. Clover Tack from Texas, Walter from Florida. We are talking about the future here.
And by the way, Florida and Texas, two space centers, by the way.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's
true.
Operational, areas of space launching stuff.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So, I see 13C Joe is about to join us. He's getting all set up right now. So, and just so you guys know, later on, he just dropped out. He'll probably be back later on Instagram. He's going to go live. So he usually does that on Friday. Yep. So I'm sure everyone's invited to do that. I'll probably stick around after the show for a couple of minutes and jump on Instagram with him. So let me quickly go down here and just shout out everyone in the chat. I see Christopher Williams, Robert McRae, DCG, 44S, Special K.
While you're doing that, I'll be back in a second.
All right, cool. Special K, I see Michael Bender, The Archangel, Richard Hughes also in there, MDS 8168, E-Rock, We Run Guns. We Run Guns says Space Force, and he puts this up right here at Clover Tech. Can you do that? Can you do that hand thing right there?
If I think about it, yeah, I can.
Oh, okay. Can you do the double one?
Let's see. Maybe.
Okay. Can you do this? What
is that? Space jazz hands?
Can you switch to this one? See, this is also a space one. I don't know if you recognize this. This is a space one, and then switch back, and then switch back, and then switch like that. This is a magical power that I have.
Apparently so. Apparently,
I don't know if anyone knows about this, but I can actually do this.
I concede, sir. I concede.
Walter missed out on that. Walter totally missed.
I don't know that he missed a whole lot, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So, We Run Guns. Looks like he's down. Boss Hog says hello. Let's see who else we got in here. Richard Hughes says, because I was saying that I was waiting for the honored guest. Richard Hughes says, I guess he missed his invitation. He's an honored guest. He's on here sometimes, but everyone who comes on the show is an honored guest. So, just FYI. I edit my sub MOA AK says Friday free for all. Get your beverages, which is a good idea. That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
And Richard Hughes wants to know, where's Lola? Lola is here. She's somewhere here. She's working. She's in the background. I don't know if she's been in the chat, not been in the chat, but Lola's always working on stuff behind the scenes. So, Joe, are you all set up back there?
If you can hear me, yes, I am.
Okay, we do hear you.
Got a question for you, Joe, right off the bat.
Yes.
Grand Power Sturbo SP9A1. You have any exposure to it yet?
I shot a few of the Grand Power things. I would have to look and see which one. I shot several of them.
This thing looks like the kind of looks like a morph of a CZ and a scar, but in 9mm.
A lot of them do, actually. All right, give me the full name of it again.
Grand Power.
The burger service, sir.
STRIBOG SP9A1.
Yeah, basically a hamburger.
All right, I am bringing it up right now.
I just ordered one.
Okay, all right. No, I have not shot that one yet. No, I haven't.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a B&T.
Yeah, kind of like a B&T.
Walter says it's a lot cheaper. We are going to talk about it.
And I just ordered one because they've got them on. I guess it's on sale at Palmetto State Armory.
How much is it on sale for?
Well, it's $7.99 with the SP tactical brace. So
okay, all right.
Look at that key mod up front. Nice.
But I'm thinking I'm going to make a cool stock for it. So
yeah, I will. You know what? I'll find a link to that and share that. Let me keep going down the list here and shouting out people, reminding everyone to smash the thumbs ups, please. Help us with the thumbs ups. This is going to be a very important historical episode. Joe, I hope you are ready, sir, to talk about Space Force.
Oh, I am absolutely talking about Space Force because part of the reason why I wasn't here had to do with me not being a part of the Space Force. So we need to get in.
They didn't take your application?
What? Someone denied you already?
I'm telling you, man. It is. Look. You tell me if I'm ready.
I know where this is going.
Force. All right, I'm ready.
Was born ready.
Born ready.
Well, if you join the Space Force, do you get a good internet connection?
I would hope so. I could use a better one, honestly.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. We are getting into Space Force. That's coming. Ghetto Hood Gamers here. I think I said Boss Hog, SoCal Gunner. Let's see who else we got. Who else do we have in here? Armament and Axes as well. Chris Bullis. I see. Let's see. I'm going down. Hamburger Helper. Strange Media Moderator. Moodbutt is in here. Richard Raznick as well. MD Harley Rider. So I'm assuming that's South Maryland Harley Rider says thumbs ups. Thank you for the thumbs ups. We appreciate it. And let me see. I don't know who else. Vanessa Kitty. I see Vanessa Kitty in there. Beverly Delk as well. Let's see. I'm trying to. Okay, Kenny Van Cleve. I also see Kenny Van Cleve in there. Mike Bryant, Sergeant Poppy. There you go. Tina is Liberty Cat. It's Brian Quick as well. LV Louis Cipher, Mr. FNH, Tacos and French Fries is in the building. Jason Gutierrez. So there you go. Justin E.
And that's the kid who wants to shoot the first 50 cal on the moon.
Yes. And it looks like there's lots of ladies in the chat tonight. Like Friday night is ladies' night, I think. Because it's ladies' night.
Thursday night, they would all be at the clubs, right? Well,
is it? Yeah. Is Thursday the club night?
I think so. I think Thursday night's ladies' night.
Yeah. And Big Dick Willie says Big Dick Willie in the house.
Oh.
The BDW is in the house. BDW. 13. I see 13C. He's there. CB says Space Force using Russian taxi rockets. I see James Lawson as well. Let me see who else came in that I could quickly.
SHTF.
Bosch, BHAS. Josh says hi, Hank. So there you go. What was that, Walter?
I said SHTF on the moon. Vanessa Kitty says. So.
Yes, absolutely. I think when you go to the moon, you should have a 50. So let's start here. You know what? Let's start this way. On the panel, before we go into, I'll give you guys a chance to pull up your news articles and all that. I'd like to see everyone in the chat right now. Everyone who's in the chat, let us know if you are pro Space Force or anti Space Force. By saying whatever, or give us a hashtag or something. So, and then we'll go through the panel here and see who's pro or against Space Force. So, Joe, I don't know if we have to ask you again, but are you pro?
So last Wednesday, I was a little late getting on, and that was because of traffic trying to get home from work. Tonight, again, same deal. And, really, there's only two things that can stop me. Gravity and the police, right? Okay. Now, I think the Space Force will solve both those problems because, to my knowledge, there are no police in space, and then gravity is pretty much non-existent up there. There's some gravitational fields and whatnot, but nothing like we have down here. So I believe that if I can get up into space, I will be unstoppable. So in that regard, I'm in.
I think Space Force will be the police of space.
Do I get to be the law?
Maybe you get to be the space law.
Space popo.
Yeah, like I am the law. So you're pro. You're pro Space Force, right?
That is a very long, deep question to get into.
Oh, Joe's having a struggle with this.
Oh my God!
I can't believe this.
Right?
You don't know.
Come on. I mean, how much? I mean, we're talking about a Space Force that's going to be funded by what's technically the lowest bidder, right? But at the same time, bribing all the politicians and political appointees in the Pentagon in order to get this thing done. So, I mean, it's NASA, but on a military budget scale, right? I mean, I like the idea. I like the idea of us having a superior military force in space. I'm all about that. At the same time, I just look at what the government does and how much money it spends and how much it wastes and its incompetence, and I just I'm like, man, can we just contract out, Elon Musk or something for the Space Force? Maybe?
I was going to say like Blackwater in space.
Right, Blackwater in space. Why not?
Elon Musk does not need any more of America's money.
No more government. No more government cheese for Elon. No.
Yeah, sure. All due respect to everyone who are fans of Elon Musk, but fuck that.
Well, you're right. I mean, how many subsidies and how many contracts is he getting? At the same time, I can't help but look at it, and he was able to do in a dozen years what NASA couldn't do in 60.
Yeah, I mean, he already has a soldier up there in that Tesla.
Car.
Yeah, in that Tesla floating around the planet, but
on its way to Mars.
Yeah, and who knows what else is in that car, but I'm just saying there might be something else up there. Okay, let's go down the panel. I want to see what everyone thinks. So Clover, where are you on the Space Force? Are you for or against, yay or nay, sir?
I'm okay with it. I'm totally okay with it. It's, as technology moves forward, other countries are going to be pursuing stuff like that. So, why not? Why not be the first there and kind of have control from the beginning?
Oh, okay. Okay. So we've got Joe is no. Joe, you're a nay, right?
I don't know if I'd say I'm nay. I just want him to do it smartly and efficiently.
Okay. Joe's on the fence until he finds out how it's getting funded.
I'm not wearing the shirt today, but honestly, taxation is theft. So, I mean, at some point.
I bet you we could come up with creative ways to fund it. Like maybe we can get we can get like immigrants to fund it. Maybe
can we get Mars to pay for it?
Yeah,
we're gonna build a space wall. Is that what I'm saying?
We don't have to build a wall for space. We could just invite everyone. Like, hey, you want to join Space Force? Then you could come to America. After you spend like 10 years in Space Force, then you're automatically a citizen.
That's true.
So, okay, let me keep going down the line. We'll come up with other creative ideas. You guys let us know if you're for or against Space Force. Walter Keller, the second, right? You're Walter Keller.
Yes, I'm the second. Yes.
Okay, I just want to be official. Are you for or against, sir?
I'm for it. They've been doing it for a long time already. So they've been working on the technology, the systems, the ideas, they've tried lots of things, and you'd probably be amazed. I don't know, but I would say you'd probably be amazed in the stuff they've already done.
Oh, you mean that's already been developed?
It's already been developed, right? Because it doesn't take these fancy weapons to knock out a satellite. All it takes is a little piece of metal shot and it hits it.
Oh heck, a little bitty asteroid.
Yeah, a little BB gun, 17,000 miles per hour, take out your spaceship.
Right.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take a lot of. It just. But they've been researching this stuff since NASA's beginning, actually. So,
yeah, okay.
It's this is just kind of maybe a way to make it a little more user friendly.
Okay, all right.
Or it could be to say to the Chicoms and to the Russians, like, "Hey, mofo, we're here, so don't try none of your monkey business."
Yes. Okay. And just for the record, I am also. So it seems like, Joe's a maybe. Clover's like he's okay with it. Walter's for it. I'm also for it. I know I'm looking at what everyone's saying. Muba says he's against, which Muba is saying it like I say against. How the hell do we say against?
Well, why
am I saying against wrong? Am I saying against wrong?
You're either for it or you're against it.
Against it or for it. You know what I'm saying? You're with us or you're against us.
He's against it.
Like GW said, you're either with us or you're against us.
Yeah. Yeah. So what were you going to say, Walter? I think I cut you off.
No. What was I going to say? Good question. I don't know. I lost my train of thought with that whole with it and against force, against us and all stuff.
Yes.
It'll come back to me. Come on.
Yes.
Carry on.
I see everyone. There's lots of opinions there. There's actually the chat is more divided than we are. There's people that are for it. It looks like there's lots of people against it. Lots of people worried about all the spending and all that.
That's what I wanted to kind of think. I was always disappointed that we were boldly going where no one had gone before back in the 70s. We went to the moon. Things were on a fast track. We were rocking and rolling, and all of a sudden we went to the shuttle. And we played with the shuttle for 30 years, and and so we would already have been to Mars and back if we would have continued on the path we were going.
The shuttle was not bad. The problem with the shuttle is that we landed on we landed on the idea of the shuttle. We built the shuttles and stuff like that, and then we never did anything else.
Right,
we never developed it.
You didn't progress past the shuttle. So
yeah, we just started defunding everything. And if I'm not mistaken,
you know, the argument always it costs too much. You know, what about the children? What about what about this? What about that? Well, look at all the money that's been spent since the '60s giving it away in welfare. You could have a moon base up there and throw all those bums up on the moon.
Yeah. So that's the thing. That's the thing. I think, as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, someone can let me know if I'm wrong. I think President Obama would actually put the final nail in the coffin of NASA, right?
Yes,
in terms of they're still out there, but he put the final nails for everything.
Shut the shuttle program down, you know, pretty much.
Yeah. And that's how Elon Musk got into the whole thing. So I think before we get real deep into this, one of the things I want to do is this is a serious thing, right? This is a serious news story that's out there for anyone who doesn't know. We're not making it up, right? I'm trying to look and see when Trump first said that he's going for Space Force, because I remember
Space Force Coast to Coast. That's what it is, like Space Ghost. I'm for that. Yeah.
It was a definite blindsided comment. I remember when I seen it, I had to rewind. I was like, "What did you?"
Yeah, I think he called. I think this was like I think it was a week, or maybe a week and a half ago. That here we go. So this is from June 18th, and this is from CNBC. And basically, it says President Trump directs Defense Department to immediately, quote unquote, begin the process of establishing Space Force as 6th military branch. So, you know, President Trump is directing the Pentagon to create a Space Force.
And there's also other things to look at, too, not just the Chicoms and the Russians, but like I'm looking on Fox News, you know, you got this big ass asteroid floating around out there. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty serious thing. If the asteroid starts coming in, the Chicoms are going to look like, you know, a flea on a dog's ass, you know, if that thing's coming our way. So,
yeah.
You got to be prepared for that type of stuff, too. So.
Well, I mean, currently with the equipment we have, you know, on Earth, we're only able to monitor just a very small portion of the skies anyway. Right. So we could get blindsided at any time. So, you know, as this progresses forward, maybe the technology to scan for things like that too could progress.
Yeah. They need to have our eyes and ears need to be further out into the wild blue yonder, so to speak. I think.
Yeah, we need time to know if something's coming.
Right, and the means out there to maybe latch onto it and push it in another direction.
Yeah, like a tugboat or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So now they went on to quote Trump here. It says, quote, "Our destiny beyond the earth is not only a matter of national identity, but a matter of national security. Yep. Our policy board will begin working on this issue, which has implications for intelligence operations for the Air Force, Army, Marines, and Navy," Pentagon spokeswoman Dana White said in a statement. So I'm going to go into some other news things around this, but when this first happened, everyone started making fun of Trump, right? Like, this guy, this is the proof that he's batshit crazy.
They made fun of Reagan too, remember?
Yeah. So, you know, now what we were just talking about is there's lots of things out there that we either need to defend against or prepare for. There's natural disasters or asteroids. I don't know if meteorites could do anything, but asteroids out there could certainly do a lot of damage. Maybe like, you know, in the outer atmosphere, meteorites and things like that might destroy satellites. And if your cell phone doesn't work for 2 weeks, we will go to the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people make light of all this. What if the GPS system is destroyed or goes down, which is run by the U.S. Air Force? You're going to be in a real bad way. We're going to be in a real bad way. So,
are we going to have to read maps?
Well, I know how to do that, by the way. But
are we going to have to know where the hell we're going?
At least the boys in my Boy Scout troop knew how to read maps. So,
I mean, who will tell me what exit to take?
Right.
Well,
you know, this could be the end of society as we know it. And
you better buy yourself a compass, mofo.
Yeah, you're gonna need a little bit more than a compass. So, Joe, let me ask you, man. Do you think that because I know you're on the fence. So, do you think there's like viable reasons for the Space Force?
Sure. Yes.
Can you tell us? Do you have some ideas of what's viable?
I don't know how much we're going to be able to pull a what was that with Aerosmith and blowing up the meteor, Armageddon?
Yes, Armageddon.
Something like that, right?
Wait, are you saying that we don't have the technology to land on an asteroid?
I don't know if we have the technology to be able to do that. I don't know how far off that is.
We can land on an asteroid, but are you ready to do it?
Well, if you caught it far enough away,
yeah,
you could change its trajectory, though.
We have to file permits and do an environmental study.
Well, that's true.
We have to make sure that we have all minorities and women included in the crew.
Yeah. We have to consider the feelings of the asteroid before.
Yes. And are we going to affect the space outlook on life? I mean, you know what?
And what would other asteroids that could be moving toward us? How would that make them feel?
They'll feel neglected.
They no longer feel welcome.
Right. We didn't land on them, so why?
Yeah, this asteroid didn't land on. We landed. What was it? We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Yeah, I think who was supposed to said that? Malcolm X.
Malcolm X. Yeah.
Yeah. Or in the movie, I don't know if Malcolm X actually said that, but I know in Spike Lee's movie,
it sure does sound good, right?
Yeah,
Dave Chappelle did it better in Robin Hood Men in Tights. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well. First of all, Dave Chappelle is the man. So
much more entertaining.
So, but the thing is, you know what? I think there are serious things that we're going up against. Like you guys.
Let me give you two things real quick. Russia and China. Russia and China. That's all you need.
Well, yes, and Russia has space capabilities, right? Because someone talked about it in the chat. That's who we're using.
Very capable, and the Chinese, thanks to our former president like Bill Clinton and the rest of them, have progressed leaps and bounds. So, yes. So,
and here's the thing. I'm going to talk. Let's talk about people out there who are actually pro this. Now, obviously, the NASA chief, right? He backs the space proposal. This is in Engadget. And it says, like, here's the article. It says, whatever you think of Trump's proposed Space Force, it has at least one ally in its corner recently installed by Trump. NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine, I don't know. I think I like Bridenstine better. In an interview at Axios, Bridenstine argued that space was becoming more contested and that the U.S. had to be willing to defend space in order to maintain it. He argued, as Walter's saying, the Chinese and Russians were developing not only anti-satellite missiles, but co-orbital satellite weapons, jammers, and other spaceborne threats. Allegedly, the Chinese see the U.S.'s lack of space weapons as an Achilles heel it could exploit.
It's an opportunity.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that?
That's the truth. Look at the Pacific Ocean. The Chinese are building, they've dredged up bases in the Pacific Ocean. And why did they do that in that area? Because we, Obama and previous presidents, neutered the Navy and reduced our fleet size, and they felt an opportunity. So they filled the void. Yeah.
So, I mean, so Joe, does that help you here on the fence?
It does insofar as from a defensive capability, obviously that's important, and obviously the ability to be able to shoot down, like any missile threats or whatever are apparently, and I'm not an expert, but easier to shoot down from space as opposed from ground based, things along those lines. So in that regard, yes. So like I said, I'm not opposed to it. I'm just opposed to what could happen, and how much money and how, what happens if we want to put a base of, who knows? Who knows exactly where this is going to be? So as far as, I don't want us to get behind the curve. At the same time, I don't want us to waste a ton of money because we're, $20 trillion in debt, and eventually that economic time bomb is going to come home.
Okay, so let's talk about the money, because the money is obviously a big thing. I see lots of people in the chat talking about the money. The chat's actually pretty active. I'm enjoying everyone's comments. I see Will Keller's in there. Lots of other folks are commenting on them. Let's talk about the money thing. So if we go back to the last time we were really developing the space program, someone help me. What was that, like the 50s, 60s, right? Right? That's when we were really developing this. Think of the money they spent back in the 50s and the 60s after World War II, to be honest with you, right? Because I think that between America and Russia, when we went into Germany and other places around the world, we captured all these people, these scientists, right? We know the Germans were thinking about this. If you saw, what was it? Was it Iron Sky? If you saw Iron Sky, the Germans were planning on going to the moon. We were able to attack us from the moon.
We were firing bottle rockets, and the Germans were figuring out how to do orbital telemetry and everything else. Yeah, they were so far ahead of us to make a head spin.
Yeah, so these guys, we captured these scientists on both sides, and then America was messing around with it. Russia was really serious about it, and then we wound up in a space war, right? In a race to get into space.
Yeah, whoop their ass.
Yeah. So I guarantee you that back then, all the money that was spent on that, people thought that's the end of America with this money that we're spending.
The space money is so minuscule compared to the other money that's spent on all these programs that gives it away to people and all these goofy. We're studying the sexual habits of every bug and every African and every critter around the world. You know, that costs a lot of money when you add it all together. So
Ghost Tactical wants to hear from Clover Tack. He wants to know that he's alive. He looks pretty pink to me. I'm looking at him right there.
I'm here. I don't know what the deal is.
He's trying to get a word in edgewise.
I was actually seeing if there was any data on what was.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well,
wait, are you going to talk facts? We don't want facts.
Look at the technology.
Who do you think we are?
Okay, $2. They spent $2.
Look at the technology that came out of the space program.
That's what I was going to say.
You're still seeing the effects of that, and you can't deny that. Velcro, freaking Velcro.
I mean, could you imagine not being able to do that anymore? That's got to be worth at least a couple $2 billion right there, right?
Yeah,
no shit. I mean, Velcro. No, that's not even a joke. Velcro. That's amazing.
From the space program, or aliens that landed in Roswell. However you want to do it.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, yes, that's what I was going to say, man. All this money that we spent in the space program back in the 50s and the 60s, right? Before that, everything that we went through to capture those German scientists and the other scientists who were able to come along and help make this happen, right? I mean, if you looked at the movies, there was some. There's lots of people involved in this. I think, remember there was a movie that came out recently about these young black women that had something to do with it because they were all
mathematicians. Yeah, that was kind of yes.
And I'm not saying that facetiously. We all got into this. We spent a ton of money, but we did not suffer.
Nope.
We did not suffer. If you look at Russia and America, I think America won that one. Hands down.
Well, that was part of the strategy to break Russia.
And that's how that's how Reagan during the Cold War, the end of the Cold War, we just outspent them. They couldn't keep up with it, so their economy collapsed. They couldn't. They even with all their satellite countries and the East Germans and all these places, they couldn't keep up. They couldn't feed everybody, pay everybody, and they just couldn't do it.
Yeah, all the people they convinced to become communists, including where I was born in Guyana, in Cuba, all these places with incredibly intelligent people and all that kind of stuff. Russia couldn't get better genes than us. They couldn't make Levi's. They couldn't make Nikes.
They couldn't make a freaking refrigerator, but they could build a hell of a tank. Now. Yeah. I mean, you can't put your beer in a tank and keep it cold, but they couldn't build a car, a decent automobile for people. They had to bring Fiat in to build Lolas. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, they did get the first dog in space.
Yeah. And that dog didn't come back probably alive either, did he?
Sputnik.
Yeah. Lottie. That was Lottie. Laika was the first dog in space.
Oh, no, wait. So who was Sputnik?
That's the satellite.
Oh, that's the satellite. What am I thinking?
What
was the name of the dog? Laika? Okay. Because I think I saw that dog in Avengers or one of those movies, right?
Yeah,
so he's floating around out there in space. He's been morphed in cyborg or whatever.
If you look at the Russian space program, they sent guys up there you think our guys were doing things in a crazy way? The Russians sent them up there and they didn't give a shit whether they came back in one piece or not.
Yeah.
They just sent them up and you come back alive. That's good, comrade. You go again.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think right there, you have to look at that and extrapolate that and think that we are now on the tail end of that. As we sit here in the middle of 2018, we are on the tail end of what we did back in the 50s and the 60s, right? We're on the tail end of that because we're not developing shit anymore.
Well, we are, but it doesn't all get used. I mean, there's a lot of things still being developed and worked on, but you got to get past this thing that we can't afford it stuff.
I think necessity is the mother of invention, and the stress and the pressures that you put yourself into in situations like that is what pushes us to push the boundaries. And there's lots of things. I mean, no joking aside, other than Velcro, we've got Tang.
You got every freaking thing.
You got all microwaves. You got you got
all your integrated circuit technology. The stuff started all with the space program. All that stuff was a part of that. Yeah. So
what were you saying, Joe?
Freeze dried ice cream. I mean, space ice cream.
Heck yeah! You ever have that stuff? That stuff's good.
Yeah. Is that the little balls of ice cream or something?
No, they look like an ice cream bar that's just been dehydrated.
Oh no, I've never had that.
Really?
What? No.
Where you been?
No, I've never had that. I've never had that.
Get on the interweb and order some. Damn it!
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Yeah, my friends at Fort Scott Munitions are reminding me of Leica. Leica, there's the dog. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Leica. They sent monkeys and dogs, and we did all that stuff too.
Yeah, but a lot of things came out of this, man. Computers got better. Communications got better.
Well, that's all Roswell. That has nothing to do with the space race. Come on, we know better than that.
Amazon Prime free shipping. I found one ice which ready to eat.
Oh man!
All right.
Look at it.
We're gonna ship this to y'all.
You're breaking up a little bit there. You broke up, Joe.
We got to get him on the Space Force so he gets a good internet connection.
Yeah, I need better internet. I don't know what's going on here. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my interwebs.
We got to get you at least
one of the kids at your house is right now on the internet. Which, by the way, we are able to do this show to go live because of the internet and computers and everything, all the things that came out of the space program.
Pretty much, yeah. If you want to be the whole interweb was a military program to start with.
Yes. So go ahead.
I did. Well, I've run some numbers here. That's what I was doing. We were talking about funding, right?
Okay.
At the height of this space race going to the moon, late 60s, mid to late 60s, that was roughly about 5%, a little over 5% of the U.S. budget, right?
Okay.
If you look at the budget, and these are numbers according to the 2010 census, we've got 20% in defense and security. Safety net programs account for 14%. Medicare, Medicaid, the CHIPS program, 21%, 6% interest in debt. All of those can be cleaned up to find 5%.
Oh yeah. That's an excuse that doesn't work like when you run the numbers like you're doing.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Look at all the people during the space program. Thousands and thousands of people were employed working on that, and we're not talking about like McDonald's jobs either. We're talking about engineers and stuff like that. And
look, someone people are sending me pictures. That's from Spaceballs.
Oh.
I think that's for Mike, and then this looks like a stormtrooper right there. Right. Stormtrooper. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, Walter. Didn't mean to.
But I was going to say, and even when I mentioned McDonald's, it all trickles down to, that's a bad word for the libs, trickle down, but it actually works because if I'm making $200,000 working in the space program, I'm going to go buy a new car. I'm going to get my car washed by some dude that's working for himself. So it all trickles down back into the economy. So it's all good, man.
I think we need. First of all, I think there's lots of practical reasons that we do need to have a space force. We could joke around about it. I know there's tons of memes. I was enjoying the memes out there, but I think we do need to have this because we need something where we all realize that we're in this together, and we're either going to wait for like a huge tragedy to befall the country. And I know there's terrible things happening. You people haven't seen shit yet. You know, so listen, trust me, I was there. I was in New Jersey, New York at 9/11. We haven't seen anything yet compared to what could happen. So we're either going to wait for something bad to happen here, or we're going to come to a realization that there's a bunch of different reasons why we need to do this. Notwithstanding the fact that, like, you know, what the guy from NASA was saying about China and Russia. I mean, didn't China just destroy one of its own satellites
as a test? Probably, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and
they've already
as to show us they could do it.
The Chinese have already had a space station up, a small one, just to put people up there and test out their systems. All you got to do is you got to launch a small space station and something simple as a small little satellite that has some kind of guidance in it, and you decide to hit Hank Strange's house, it'll freaking probably leave a 300-foot crater when it hits your house, man. So
yeah. There's a bunch of different things. Look, right now, all this, and I'm not saying that I'm for a lot of what's going on. I'm pro technology, right? I like technology and things. I like technology in cars, but the cars and everything that we're shifting to, I've talked about this before, and then people told me I was making them pretty depressed. But the cars we are going to are electric cars. I'm just telling you guys, and I'm not talking about in the future. I'm talking about like 5 years from now. Lots of companies out there are going to be making electric cars. You're going to have very limited options, right?
A lot of people have been going on a business.
Yeah, well, this is going to happen. Companies are telling us this now, that they are going to electric cars. So here's the thing. There's these rare earth elements, okay, that are needed to create the batteries and other things that go in these cars. There's not a lot of those. There's a reason why it's called rare earth.
Well, a lot of that.
There's not a lot of it here, except for like in Afghanistan.
And yeah. There's a lot. Well, the Russians have a lot of stuff. Well, we have a lot of stuff too, but you know, I don't know how to say this. How are you gonna? The Chinese are trying to make their way into Afghanistan, but you know, may the force be with them. The Muslims don't like them either, so. And vice versa. So I don't know what's going to happen there. So.
But guess where there's a lot of that stuff?
In space.
On the moon.
But very, 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 very costly.
Yeah. But at some point, I mean, so I don't know. let me find out from people.
Let me see.
Do you think we actually went to the moon? That's a good question. Yeah, everyone tell me that right now in the chat. Did we actually go to the moon?
Walter, we went to the moon, I think 7 times, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't fake.
No, it wasn't fake.
Set. Okay, that's Walter's thing. Clover, did we actually go to the moon?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You believe that? Okay. Yeah. Joe, did we go to the moon?
I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Joe's on the fence.
Joe,
you are the biggest sci-fi geek on this show.
I honestly believed we went to the moon until Buzz Aldrin freaked out and punched that guy for claiming he didn't. And I can't, right? So I mean,
okay.
So
wait, no. I don't understand the logic.
So here's the logic, right?
Okay.
So if I went to the moon, let's say, or let's say any of the things I've done, not that I've done anything spectacular like going to the moon, but it seems like people get more defensive, right, over something that isn't true than they do if it is true, right? I mean, you got one nutball out there saying you didn't go to the moon, and you get livid and you wind up punching him, right?
Oh, it's not one nutball. It's a lot.
In comparison, right? I mean, I have no idea what the percentage of the country is, but there's probably, I don't know, at least 2/3, 3/4 of the population at least must believe we went to the moon.
Let me see. Richard Raznick says yes to the moon. I'm looking for people. Vanessa Kitty wants to know why I think we didn't go to the moon. Yeah. Richard Hughes says the Buzz punch was the best.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, you know, it is, but he looks so pissed, right? Mm-hmm. So why would he be that angry and that? I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
Simon King says the moon is hollow. It's already occupied. The moon is hollow and the Earth is flat.
That's where Hitler is. It's the moon.
Yeah. That could be feasible.
Yeah, I got your Hitler right here.
So it looks like lots of people saying we did go to the moon. I think that we did go to the moon, but the thing is, we don't even have the forget about going into space and doing a lot of different things. We can launch satellites for sure.
We can go to the moon any day we want.
Okay, we could technically go to the moon. If somebody else goes to right now, if we have to negotiate with Kim Jong-un, if we wake up tomorrow and China lands on the moon and goes, the moon is ours. We're not fucking with China. Now they got the moon.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you something.
It's not as easy.
That's for real. That's not bullshit. That can happen in your lifetime that you wake up and China's like, yeah, we're on the moon. It belongs to us. Don't fuck with us. If you even try to launch up here, we will take you out.
Well, then their guys on the way back have a bad day. They out in the outer space area, they just kind of disappear.
Yeah, but guess what? And then what happens if like someone like Obama or Jimmy Carter is president? Then what?
Well, then you know I think you're gonna.
Then we just pull our pants down. We get.
Well,
you find out what getting mooned really means,
or getting done in the backside.
Yeah.
Hey-o.
I think Obama. That's an interesting subject. I think. How does a guy that basically didn't have any money? I think you're going to find a lot of the things he did, and the reason he did it because he was getting deposits in foreign bank accounts. I think you're going to find that out in the end. I don't have any proof of this now, but it just seems awfully strange. A lot of like.
Wait, hold on a second. We're off on. Why did Obama do what?
Well, a lot of things. He shut down a lot of things. For example, the shuttle program. Who benefited from shutting down the shuttle program? The Russians did, right?
I think the Russians do benefit, but I also think
$20 or $30 million a hit, I guess, a trip or something. I mean,
I think this. You're going to think this is far fetched. I think there's a bunch of other people that benefit, and one of the things that affects all of us is the price of gasoline, right? And I think the oil cartels even benefit from that.
They don't.
Believe it or not. I'm going to tell you why I think they benefit. If we keep trying to do things like push technology forward, I'm just telling you, I think electric cars is a lot of bullshit because most of our power is coming from like from oil, coal, etc. Right? So no one wants to build nuclear power plants. But if we keep pushing these things forward, we're going to come up with things. We're going to come up with ways of doing this and doing it better. These guys know that they're, I'm not saying that they're running out tomorrow of oil in Saudi Arabia, but it's not forever. They're not, I don't think they have more than like 100 years.
We have more than they do, actually.
Yeah. So I think
we have a lot more than they do.
Yeah, but they don't really want us to figure stuff out. They don't want us to push everything forward. They want us to be dumbed down. I think there's a lot of people out in the world that want us to be dumbed down. And when you look at it, I think when you have like progressives come in and they start dumbing shit down, people don't realize that it's for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well.
It's for a reason. They want to be able to control us. Though I really think that progressives believe in slavery. They definitely believe in mental slavery, and they definitely they play the game where it looks like, oh no, we believe in the future.
Yeah,
and it's really bullshit.
The future of socialism. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think about this Clover Tack? I don't know. It looks like you're trying to jump in.
Oh, I was just out there in the chat.
Okay.
No, one thing that we haven't hit on is space travel. And it's been said a lot of times that technology, developing and testing that is a lot easier if it was done from a place like the moon or a large space station or something like that.
You have a place to launch from or start.
A lot easier than having to get it into space and then go, oh, crap, that don't work, and then bring it back down.
Yeah, well, less gravity for sure. I mean, the biggest thing that we spend like on fuel and stuff like that right now is escaping gravity, right?
Right. Yeah, that's why you got to have such large rockets to get big payloads out of the gravitational pull of the Earth. Yes.
Yeah. So I think that, I agree with you. I think that is a thing, man, and we need to do that. We need to get out there and explore. Like if people are really worried about the planet and all, like I'm telling you right now, I'm not worried about the planet. I seriously believe we could set off every nuclear bomb we had. We might wipe us out as human beings. We're not wiping out life from this planet.
The Earth,
okay. The Earth will keep spinning.
The Earth has been here a lot longer than us humans, and the Earth will be here way after the humans are gone. So,
hell's yeah, man! And another 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, couple of million years from now, we'll be right back here kicking each other's asses. Every single thing is going to be developed all over again. We'll have guns. We'll have nuclear missiles.
I guess.
Yeah. So I'm not really worried about that, but I think that if you really, I think we need this kind of thing. If you go back to like when it was a huge deal, when people were scared of going on the ocean.
Go off the edge, man. And there are people that believe there's an edge too, by the way. So for those folks that didn't go to the moon and there's an edge, you know, don't go on a cruise.
Yeah, we're not catering to flat earthers here or people who believe that. Because I think the flat earthers have like a whole theory about why you can't go over the edge, right?
Yeah, they're fucking idiots.
Yeah, because for some crazy reason they don't believe the world is a sphere, but they do believe that there's gravity.
And how does that work? Explain that one there.
I don't know. Because I've talked to some guys who believe in this nonsense, and they're like, yeah, if you go over the edge, you just keep walking because of gravity. So you're just like upside down, but you don't know.
What's on the underside?
I don't. Listen.
And then there's those that there's the ice wall. The ice wall keeps you from going over. So.
Yes, I've heard the ice wall theory as well.
Ice wall? Is that like a big Slurpee out there or something? What is
Antarctica is really a big ring of ice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because winter's coming.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. But I think. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say the winter will come again.
Hold on.
Who's coming in? What we got here?
Wait, so there's a cat on the ice wall?
No.
Oh, cats would have pushed everything off it by now.
All right, so this to me is definitive proof that the Earth is not flat. Because, and I don't know how anyone could refute this. Okay. If the Earth was flat, cats would have pushed everything off. Everything. So I think that is proof right there. The Earth is round.
Well, it's because secretly the government controls the cats. That would be their.
Oh, because the gangsters, they're evil.
Okay, hold on a second. I believe that cats are evil.
No one can control cats.
Yes, and see, we've just went a complete circle right back to the evil cats.
I have Exhibit B here as well. Here's Exhibit B.
Yeah, cats are the most evil thing that exists. No, I'm sure there's going to be some offended fans. Every time I say that, people start sending.
Oh, they get pissed off, probably.
Yeah, no, they send me pictures of their cats. And how awesome. Sometimes they're cats with guns.
Send hag pussy pictures, okay? Send your pussy to.
Oh Lord. Jeez, that's scarier than dick pics.
Then what's her face's vagina?
Yeah, because I inevitably someone's gonna send me pictures of Whoopi's vajayjay, and my brain will just explode. Let's just put it that
are there pictures out there?
I would just go
whoever's brave enough to snap that picture definitely needs some kind of medal or something, some kind of recognition.
That'd be like the Medal of Honor kind of thing.
A little bit, yeah.
So I think that on this whole subject of the Space Force, I think that regardless of what they wind up calling it, I think there's lots of good reasons. And guess who else I saw here that's also pro Space Force? I think I sent you this link, Walter, and I could send it to you guys again if you guys need. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Okay. Neil deGrasse Tyson. This guy is not a Trump fan,
and he's a serious lefty. So
yeah, he's a serious leftist, but he's an expert.
But he realizes that there's assets out there that you got to protect.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson's Trump Space Force is not a weird idea. Astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson says President Donald Trump's idea to create a Space Force is not a fundamentally flawed idea if the U.S. Air Force, which currently manages all U.S. GPS and space capabilities, feels overwhelmed and can no longer handle the load as technology use in space evolves. So, and that's something else to think about here. With all kidding aside, I mean, there's a bunch of serious things going on here. Because look, right now we're the police force of the world, whether we like it or not. I'm not a huge fan.
Meals on wheels. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the fact that America is the police force to the world, especially due to the fact that when everyone in the world needs us, we're there. And then when they get ready, they're like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, watch what happens when the mega volcano goes off. There'll be nobody running to bring you a porta potty or anything, So
yeah. So I mean, I think that's a huge problem. If we're gonna go help people out and we're not gonna get any spoils for it or whatever, then that's a whole thing. But that's the position that we're in right now, right? And America's kind of like spread thin because there's things happening all over the world at all different times, and we're worried about stuff. And a lot of things that we do, it's not really a conspiracy. A lot of things that we do kind of always have something to do with the price of oil.
Well, in a roundabout way. You got to have everything. Everything moves. Everything's got to be powered. So you got to make that power somehow. So,
yeah. Yeah, and this is why I think, like, this is why I think we need to push more boundaries and come up with more stuff. I don't think we're really being inventive, even like with people think that they're being inventive because they're like, oh, let's make electric cars. When the first cars came out, they were electric cars.
Yeah, back in the old days, they had electric cars. Yeah, I mean, the real old days. Yeah. And Edison had an electric car, didn't he? Back way when? Didn't he?
Most of the first cars were battery powered electric cars, and then they realized that it was crazy and bullshit, and they couldn't actually do it. I'm not saying it's never
gasoline. Gasoline originally was a byproduct of refining kerosene, if I'm not mistaken, and they almost just threw it away because they didn't have anything to do with it. So then they found, oh man, this stuff runs pretty good in an internal combustion engine. But hell with this electric stuff.
Yeah, and I talk about this all the time. Like you said, Walter, I think we have other sources of energy here in America, but for some reason we think it's easier to just go overseas and fight for it. And then we're like, yeah, even though we have oil and
you have this
natural gas is abundant here.
You have this every time you bring up the subject, you have these people. Well, I don't want that in my backyard. I don't want to see that oil rig from my condo. You can't disturb that gopher that lives out there. I mean, it's like, fuck that. Let me tell you about the animals. Remember the whole thing about the spotted owl back in the day in California, I think it was, in lumber and timber. They found out later on that the spotted owl does not like old growth timber. They like to have the younger trees because there's more activity, there's more animals, there's more stuff going on. So that was just a big leftist tree hugger thing to block people from cutting down trees.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was. I mean, and put people out of work. And so if you can get over that thought that everything is going to harm everything, and everything's not going to harm it. Nature has a way of just adapting. I mean, what happened to the BP oil spill was bad, right? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
The whole world was going to come to an end.
Oh, that was the end of the world. And I mean,
they can't figure out. The brains can't figure out where all the oil went.
Yeah, but here's the thing about oil. I mean, obviously,
it came out of the ground. So what it did, it went back down.
Well, yes, and obviously we refine oil and we turn it into things and all that, and then we burn it and gases go into the air. Yeah, I mean, I'm not against science, but if you've got pockets of oil around the planet, one way or the other, that stuff's coming up.
And how do you know?
It's going to come up and go down and go back.
A question I've always had is because, as a kid, we were supposed to be out of oil 20, 30 years ago. By the 2000s, you're going to be out of oil and you can be driving around like George Jetson in your electric car, right? How do you know it's not still being made down on the earth? You don't. You can't. They don't know. They don't know what kind of animals live in the jungle in the Amazon, much less.
Well, I mean, look at shale now, and I mean now they've and what a few decades ago they didn't understand that. And so oil shale's a huge thing nowadays.
Yeah, but I think that the weird thing about all of this is we've got lots of things. We have natural gas that's very abundant, and it's actually cleaner than oil. For example, the gasoline that we're putting in our cars now, it's 50% cleaner. But we would rather spend. We've got all these companies that already make cars that run on natural gas as well as fuel. These things are sold in South America, in most parts of Europe, Africa, etc. And a lot of these companies, they're not going to make those for America, even though that would make things half as clean.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to just go to electric cars, and we don't have any way to generate enough electricity. I mean, if you have a rainstorm in New York City, the lights go out.
Well,
right. So that's the way that we're going to do things, and I really think that we're getting dumbed down a lot. And I think it's not a fantasy thing for me. I think there's a serious, realistic reason that we have to push the boundaries and go out there and fight something bigger than us. It's what we're missing as human beings. Life is probably a little bit too easy for us right now compared to the life that our parents, grandparents, and great grandparents lived. And I think we need challenges to keep pushing us forward. So
sure.
Yeah.
I agree. No worries.
So, okay. I mean, I don't know. We can always come back around to this. We can probably go off to some other things.
All right. What kind of weapons are we going to have in space? What's your everyday carry in space?
Better not have much recoil. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, if you fire your gun, next thing you're re-entering the Earth's atmosphere.
Right.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you have to realize that space is not like in a movie. So
Nope.
you're not going to see an explosion because it's a vacuum.
And then nobody's going to hear you scream.
Yeah, there's nothing to burn. Or you can't. You need to have oxygen for something to burn, right?
Yeah, so conventional ammunition wouldn't work.
Well, it will, I guess.
It's going to ignite.
Yeah,
It would.
Yeah.
It would if there was oxygen in the cartridge, right?
right. Or
But what if it was built in space? What if your ammunition was actually
you
built
have
in
to have
space?
once again, your fuel would have to have or your powder would have to have an oxidizer, an oxidizing agent, I guess.
Yeah, you just have an oxygen capsule in there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. Remember from the 60s, if you do, the gyrojet pistol and the gyrojet rifle, which is basically
I don't remember that.
Well, look it up.
Gyrojet.
Actually, I think on the
You're making me look up a lot of guns today, Walter. Damn it.
Basically, it shoots little rockets.
right.
Gyrojet pistol.
Correct.
Hold on. Wait a second. I'm looking this up.
Somebody just recently was shooting them and using them. I'd never seen one fired before, and it was an interesting little video I watched. If you're into that kind of stuff.
This is a thing. This is a thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't lie to you.
Interesting. Gyrojet pistol. This was a thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay. Interesting.
oh, my wife was awesome. You know what she did? She brought me a drink, and it smells like Jack Daniels.
Oh.
Bless her heart. And you know what? It tastes like Jack Daniels.
Also, this thing was developed in the 60s. Gyroscopic. Okay, it has something to do with gyroscopically
Well, it
stabilizing.
spins. The round comes out in a little rocket motor in the back, or the powder burns and causes it to spin and stabilize itself. Yeah.
Yes. Why not go back to what Vanessa Kitty just put up here about using a PCP air gun in space? Why not? Because Lewis and Clark, when they had their big adventure, they used an air gun.
Yeah. Well,
Wait, hold on a second.
Air gun. Why are we thinking powder air guns?
No, you can use pressure.
true.
Yeah, just some kind of pressure to push the.
Wait,
Yeah.
Lewis and Clark had an air gun?
Yeah, big air rifle. Yeah.
They had like a 20. Their air guns were they were some of the first real assault rifles.
Oh.
They had 20 shots.
You guys are
in
going
those
to burn down my internet today.
air guns. 20 shots.
Wait, hold on a second. Lewis and Clark.
Seriously, Google Lewis and Clark air guns. Oh God, the name is.
It's already popping up before I even.
Were those air guns British or French?
Google has figured me out, man. I just put in Lewis and Clark, and air rifle was the first. I think
that's
they are listening to us.
Scary.
You're on a list.
Wow. NFM treasure gun Gerandi air rifle used by Lewis and Clark.
Well, they
Wow. Yeah. Giordani. Wow.
Italian, French, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that thing
Amazing.
was awesome.
What?
And it had a 20 round hopper fed magazine.
Wow.
Okay, so why did we go away from that technology? What happened there?
Well,
Because it took about 1,500 strokes of a hand. However, what they were able to do.
Wow. Yeah, 1,500.
It's Freedom Friday, History Friday, right?
It was capable of 30 shots. 30 shots. So what are these guys talking about AR-15s for?
Well, and that's the thing. So when Lewis and Clark and their little expedition were going across were heading west, and they would run into angry tribes of indigenous people, right?
Nicely put.
Right, they would shoot things with their air rifles, and the Native Americans at the time they were only familiar with like single shot things, right? So when they would shoot 5, 10, 15, 20 rounds, they just thought these things had unlimited they just thought they were unlimited ammunition. They had no idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, magical powers.
Right. Basically, yeah, it was like magic. So that actually prevented them from getting into a lot of fights.
So you would load it up one time, you do your 1,500 pumps. I mean, their forearms must have been like Popeye.
Right.
I mean, they had like masturbating forearms after that. You could do Like, if you could do 1,500 pumps, you are no joke. Because I'm usually not a 1,500 pumper. I'm like, I'm at least like, probably like about a 200 pumps.
Oh,
So
no more information we needed to know.
Yeah. Anyway, so you would actually just pump this up 1,500 times, and then it could shoot 30 rounds.
Yeah, something like that.
Wow, lethal combat ranges of 125 to 150 yards.
yeah. The seal technology back then not the greatest either for as far as the pump mechanisms and all that stuff. Probably had leather seals in it or something. So
Yeah, so it had some drawbacks, like it was very delicate, and a small break in the reservoir could make it inoperable. Okay, so it wasn't as robust.
Yeah,
as a musket.
Yeah, so you couldn't drop it and doing all that. And it says here that any soldier using it needed to be highly trained. So that's interesting. Yeah, that's cool, man. You guys learned me something right there. I didn't know Lewis and Clark had the air rifles.
they did.
And they had Sacagawea, wasn't it? No. Sacagawea was the Indian chick that went along with Lewis and Clark, or they picked up along the way.
According to legend. According to legend, that could be another conspiracy along with the moon landing, for all we know.
So Lewis and Clark really didn't explore the West then?
I don't know.
They just went to an Indian reservation and had their way, I guess, or not. It wasn't a reservation at that time.
It was a casino, right?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's something probably to be debated. That's actually pretty cool. I didn't know about that. So, all right. So let's see, what other news things do we have here what other news things you guys want to get in to talk about here?
Let's take a look.
We could talk about this Strybog that Walter wanted to talk about.
Yes, I was going to mention that. Has anybody in the chat had any experience with the new on the market Grand Power Strybog SP9A1 9mm pistol?
Right, and did you see this at Lipsy's or?
I saw it at Palmetto State Armory.
Palmetto State Armory.
For their 4th of July sale.
Oh yeah, that's on. God, well, there goes money.
Yeah,
I see someone selling it. It's not, but this is who's this? Grab Gun?
Yeah, Grab a Gun. They've got a little bit cheaper, but without the brace and stuff.
Yeah, they're selling it for $714. Yeah. But you say it's on Palmetto State Armory.
$7.99.
Here, let me share this for folks, just so that you guys. I'm not trying to make anyone buy this thing.
I bought it purely for development of a new stock.
Yeah, but I'll put this up here in the link.
I think it's gonna be a hot gun, actually. I think it is.
Looks a lot like a B&T.
Yeah.
If you guys know what the B&T, the Swiss made, those are a little bit more expensive. I've seen them go from $1,500 all the way up to $2,500. I think they recently came out with the lower price levels.
Yeah, they had to.
There it is. Yeah, free shipping too.
At Palmetto State?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It was a what do you call that when you buy something just out of the blue? It was
impulse buy.
Yeah, I've seen them before, but I never seen one offered for sale. I guess I didn't look hard enough.
But is this a clone of the B&T? Is this?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, to me, it almost looks Scarish the way the receiver shape is, and we have the charging handle in the front.
Okay.
But I don't know. We'll see when I get it. We'll go bust some caps. See how it runs.
When are you expecting it to come in?
Well, I ordered it this afternoon, so it'll probably be sometime midweek, I would imagine. And
are these magazines for it universal or proprietary type magazines?
They're proprietary.
Okay, because I see there's some clear ones.
I was asking Grab a Gun if they had any extras, and they did not at the time. So.
Okay. So what do you guys think about this? I don't know if you guys have had a chance to take a look. I think it looks cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be it's made in Slovenia, which is former part of the Czechoslovakia. Mm-hmm. And those people make pretty good firearms over there. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
Yeah. The Eastern European places, man, are making some badass shit nowadays. So,
yep. We know how to do it.
Yeah. So, I think I'm trying to see where this news is. Have you ever heard of this company called Rimac?
Rimac.
Yeah.
What do they do?
They make a electric powered supercar.
Oh.
And they are in Croatia. But wait, let me see where Rimac is. I don't want.
I think I have heard of that.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I can't remember if they're in Croatia or wait, let me see where Rimac is.
Oh, here, look at this. Wow. There's even money in housing on immigrant shelters. Yeah.
Yeah. So Rimac is in Croatia, and they make an electric supercar. So I'm into cars, but they're on. You ever watch this show called Grand Tour? The guys used to be in in Top Gear.
Yep.
So in one of the episodes of Grand Tour, Richard Hammond is in a electric supercar, and he flips it, and then it goes on fire and all that kind of stuff.
And they couldn't put it out.
Yeah, so that's a Rimac. That car was a Rimac, and it's made from the guy who owns the company is like 25, 27 years old or something. And he developed all this technology. Koenigsegg uses this technology. A lot of it is in a lot of these different cars that are out there now. But Porsche just bought 10% of that company.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's the reason why I'm telling you that electric cars coming, like it or not.
As a supercar, that's one thing. As a everyday commuter thing, it ain't going to be no supercar. I can tell you that.
Not unless you could put pedal power in there or something like that.
There's George, or Flintstones. Yeah.
But the distance that you have to recharge is going up. There's cars out now that are about 200 miles before you need a recharge.
No, I'm not against it as long as it's not forced on you.
Exactly. That Walter nailed it.
I don't have any problem with it, and as long as the company is self-sustaining, not propped up by the government.
Yeah,
I don't want to fund. They don't fund my business. I don't want to fund Elon Musk's electric car business, because that's a fake business then.
I'm not against
fake business.
Yeah, I'm not against it either. I'm thinking about trading in my Audi and
getting a what?
Yeah, I don't know.
A Prius?
Yeah, maybe I should get a Prius or something.
Yeah.
Not really. No.
Former sponsor of the Hank Strange.
Oh, that's it. That's where you draw the line.
Bottom line.
No, I'm not against it either. I think, yes, people should absolutely have choices. I actually would like to get an electric motorcycle. I think those are cool.
No, that's cool.
Yeah. Or maybe someone out there will be down to help me build an electric motorcycle. That'll be a fun project.
Yeah, amongst all my other things to do. Yeah.
Yeah, Walter. I think you have the skills to do this. You have the welding.
Yeah,
you have the welding skills.
I probably could. Yeah, but
all we need is an old bike and some batteries.
It just take a couple minutes, and we'll put it all together. Yeah.
It can be done.
And you get to test ride it.
I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
So
Richard
So Moobutt says he's against. He says hashtag against. Yeah, he says hashtag against it.
Against electric cars, or going to the moon, or
I don't know, the motorcycle, something like that. That was he just is tripping on how I say against. So there you go.
I just saw recently on Facebook, I think it was like an electric dirt bike. Mm-hmm. And that guy was doing some wild ass stuff. He would do it normally on a regular gasoline powered dirt bike, but it was so quiet.
Yeah, electric dirt bike would be awesome. That would be a zombie apocalypse tool right there.
Now that's a military thing. The military is already messing with that.
With electric dirt bikes?
Yeah, for the special forces guys. Yeah.
Oh, really? What? Because they're quiet?
Part of it, yes.
Okay.
Well, they're using it with the hunting buggies and stuff now too.
Yeah. Well, see, that's like when we went to SEMA show, Walter, and what was that vehicle that we saw that was hydrogen powered?
That was a Chevy DARPA thing. I think they're working on.
Yeah,
for the military.
And they're like, "Yeah, this is for the special ops dudes," and I'm like, "This is $1 million vehicle."
I think it uses fuel cell technology.
Yeah, they're like, "Yeah, but this is so stealth." I'm like, I don't think the special ops dudes are going to be stealth driving around in something that looks futuristic. If they're somewhere in the Middle East or whatever, they need a Toyota.
It needs to look like a Toyota, yes.
Yeah, maybe a Range Rover.
They call those technical vehicles. It needs to be a technical vehicle.
Yeah,
yes.
but when they show up in this like sci-fi looking Chevy, it's gonna be like, I think those are the Americans right there.
That's Amerikansky,
Yeah, but and those like hydrogen, that's really expensive right now at this point. I don't know when we're getting hydrogen is gonna be cheap.
Well, hydrogen itself is not expensive, but the technology to use it in automotive technology is,
Yeah, a hydrogen car right now is about I think it's $1 million. I don't know if it came down a little bit or so. And we were talking about cars. I don't know if we segued in some people or whatever, but we're still talking about cars. Here's a news article Lola sent me. Ford fires back after Tesla's Elon Musk calls it a morgue.
Calls Ford a morgue?
Yeah, that's what Elon Musk said.
Oh, so the guy that's taking government money is calling the place that took no government money a morgue? Really?
Of course.
Of course. Yeah.
So a Ford executive took a swipe at Tesla's production woes after electric car maker CEO Elon Musk called his Detroit rival a morgue. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal, Musk suggested that morale among Tesla employees remains strong, despite the company's struggles to quickly ramp up production of the Model 3 sedan in the wake of delays. I'm telling you, there's going to be a long time before people get those things.
Have you ever worked?
Let me get this clear. Morale remains strong. Is that morale of the ones that they didn't lay off?
Well, that's cold but true.
Have you ever worked at a company that's having problems and the bosses come out? Oh, don't worry, everything's fine. You just keep doing your job, and then a week
boom,
later, boom, you're out of here. Boom, pack your bags.
Yeah, that's the strategy. Like the more they tell you, oh no, everything's fine, man. Everything's. That's how you know I've been there. I've been in the layoff situation before, and everyone knows there's a layoff, and then they go, no, there's no layoffs.
Don't worry about it.
Don't look for other jobs. What are you talking about? So, but yeah, the Tesla 3, they're having a really hard time building those, man. It's not easy. So
once again, I don't have a problem with it. Just I don't want to pay for it. Or the government shouldn't pay for it, or help pay for it either.
Yeah. So I think here's what he says. He says that he's feeling good about things. I think there's a good vibe. I think the energy is good. Go to Ford. It looks like a morgue. So the remark drew a response from Ford's vice president of communications, Mark Truby, who jabbed Musk over Tesla's use of large outdoor tent that houses a Model 3 assembly line. No doubt the vibe is funky in that makeshift tent, but it's not bad either across the street at the Ford Road plant, where high quality, high tech F-150 rolls off the line every 53 seconds, like clockwork.
Yeah. The highest, I guess, one of the highest vehicles in sales, Ford F-150 pickup trucks.
Yeah. Wait, someone tell me, because I'm often historically wrong. Didn't Ford invent the frickin' assembly line?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
They had Jeeps rolling off that thing during World War II the same way. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. I don't know how Tesla. My personal, because I know there's a lot of people on the stock market actually shorting Tesla. And I think it looks, the way that these guys are shorting Tesla looks like a lot like back in 2007 when those guys were shorting the housing market, and they kept losing money because the housing market kept going up, and they were like, nope, this market is going to fall apart because of all the indications of what we're seeing. There's guys out there shorting Tesla, and they're losing a lot of money because everyone's like, oh, Tesla's the future, and they're going in there and putting a lot of money into Tesla. The problem is that Tesla doesn't have something unique in electric cars. Anyone could build electric cars, and then they're going up against all these massive companies. Ford's not even the biggest one. I mean, you're talking Toyota and Volkswagen Group and a whole bunch of other companies that are going to, Fiat, FCA, that are going to make electric cars. When those companies are kicking out cars faster than them, and people are ordering Model 3s. I see a lot of people out there really excited because they're ordering Model 3s and stuff like that. Yeah, Tesla's inviting everyone to order Model 3s because they want your money.
They want your deposit. Oh.
Yeah, good luck with actually getting that car. If you know, and then once you get it, the people who are actually getting those cars out there aren't very happy about it. But I'm not saying that electric car thing's going to fall apart. That's why these other guys are jumping in there, and they're going to be kicking some serious asses for those out there who do want to get those things. I think a lot of that's going to backfire because we don't have an infrastructure in America to really handle that, except at home. So if you could, they've extended ranges so you can do 200 miles. So you can leave your house, go to work. If it's 50, 75, even 100 miles, you can go to work and come back home and then recharge. Yeah. But we're still using coal and fuel and stuff like that, gasoline. So I guess we need to build more nuclear power plants.
Nuclear powered cars.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with the nuclear, you've got waste you've got to deal with. I mean, everything's going to have its drawbacks.
Yeah.
Fusion.
All we got to do is bury our waste in North Korea.
Cold fusion. That's exactly right. All it needs is somebody out there. Just come on.
Cold fusion. Okay. Okay.
Work out cold fusion real quick. You got a couple of hours here while we. Yeah.
Well, the original Tesla dude, he was going to transmit all the power through the like radio, and build these big towers and transmit the power, and that all got shut down pretty quick.
Yeah, but I believe electricity can be transmitted like that for sure.
Well,
you're already able to charge batteries and stuff like that to an extent, with those contact chargers and stuff.
That's true.
So.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I think there's a whole bunch of things behind. I don't want to get into another
I don't know if I want to live next to the transmission tower, but
No kidding.
Yeah.
I could get a little hair raising, I guess you'd say.
What, like the electricity being?
You ever heard of the big high tension wires buzzing when the humidity is real high?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Be hair raising until it fell out.
Could you imagine when that's weaponized? Like you're sitting at home and they're like, "Yeah, we don't like this guy."
Whole neighborhood gone.
He's out of here. But they use, like you were talking about, fear policies. They use a lot of like fear mongering and stuff like that against the actual Tesla when he was around. So
Keanu Reeves discovered cold fusion in the movie Chain Reaction. Really? That's got to be real if he did that.
Yeah. So okay.
He's such a great shot. How can it not be real?
You never saw that movie?
No.
Never saw that movie? Oh, okay. That's all right. That's an all right movie. Okay, so Joe, let's try to bring this back on the track.
Back into space.
Yeah. Wait, you want to go back to space?
No, we can go anywhere you want.
No. Okay. All right. Joe, do you have some serious news, Joe?
I'm going to fire and flood.
Serious news.
Yeah.
No, not
I got
really.
quiet.
No.
I got news. I guess it depends. Are you talking like news or just like news?
Oh, well, forget it. It's Friday. It doesn't have to be serious. What
It
you
could
got?
be anything. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
One of our barn cats gave birth. Breaking news just happened in the past hour. One of our barn cats gave birth.
Wow.
Four new kittens. A big middle finger to our vet who refused to spay that barn cat because she was too young. Like, yeah, great.
Oh yeah. Now, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Who's too young now?
Never too young. Never too young, my friend. Lots of people have died on that sword.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so you got cats. Are they coming in the house?
They're in the house right now, just so that they're, they don't. I don't know. Everything works out okay. They're kept in. They got them in the spare bathroom, just kind of so Mama has, clean enough environment for, whatever. I don't know. I'm letting my wife and the girls handle that. So they're gonna get back outside. I don't want the barn cat and four kittens in the house. I'm not gonna be a crazy
man,
something like that.
Yeah, I mean, do those even get along with? Because you got a German Shepherd, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How does that work out?
It works out okay. He, I don't know I would assume with the kittens too, but with the cat, we got two outside cats that live in the barn, and I wouldn't necessarily say they get along, but he doesn't mess with them. He knows they're part of the the farm here, and he doesn't mess with them. So,
right.
Oh, okay.
They have a treaty.
Yes, yeah. So I don't let him mess with them, and he doesn't really seem to be too interested in messing with them anyway, because there's been some kind of cat here since he's been brought here. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he's not. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so he knows.
That's good. But the cats are good outside, man, because there's a whole bunch of rodents.
Yeah,
outdoors that they can stop from coming indoors and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't, what you live too pretty rural. I mean, there's always mice and field mice out there, and if you don't have predatory animals out there, it doesn't matter how many baits and traps and whatever else. The deterrence factor of having alpha predators, for mice anyway, an alpha mice predator out there roaming around. Goes a long way to keep a lot of those things away.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Yeah. So Lola sent me this article. I don't know if you guys could see this, but basically this article says plastics pile up as China refuses to take the West recycling. So this is an article in the New York Times, London. Ever since China announced last year that it no longer wanted to be the world's garbage dump, recycling about half of the globe's plastic and paper products, Western nations have been puzzling over what to do when the ban went into effect, which it did on January 1st. The answer to date, in Britain at least, is nothing. At least one waste disposal site in London is already seeing a buildup of plastic recyclables and has had to pay to have some of it removed. So why do we have recycling and we don't process the recycling here?
Because it's all feel-good stuff. It doesn't have... Look. Paper, it's cheaper to make new paper than it is to recycle paper. That's a fact. We have plenty of trees. Go up the north, go outside your door and look around. You see a pine tree behind your house. That's right. You got a freaking tree farm behind your house, man.
Yeah, I do.
That's like 100-year supply of toilet paper back there.
Yeah. And I could use all of that toilet paper in the next 100 years.
Well, if you're around for 100 years, it's yours. But that's the thing about recycling. I don't have a problem with that either, as long as there is a need for it. Like cardboard. Cardboard recycle. One of China's biggest things is cardboard, because everything comes back here in a box. And they don't have enough trees to make the cardboard, so they import tons and tons and tons of cardboard for recycling. But it's all feel-good stuff. You're supposed to feel good because your plastic went off to become something somewhere. Yeah.
What were you saying? What were you saying, Clover?
Well, I mean, I don't understand why a lot of the companies don't. I know that soda bottles and stuff like that used to have. You get a nickel or you got whatever, right, for turning them in, and a lot of the companies reutilize that stuff, repurpose that stuff. So I don't know why some of the recycling doesn't fall back onto the companies if that's something that they want to push, and then they handle that rather than trying to, the consumer trying to outsource it to somebody else.
Well, that's what I thought was happening. I thought we were recycling, and because in places in America you get fined for not recycling, right? And there's all this stuff going on around recycling, but I thought that this stuff went back and they used it to make more bottles, and they used it to make cars, and
Hank Strait,
what the hell's going on with that?
Do you want that smelly recycling plant next to your house?
I don't care.
Oh, you would.
No.
You would, because who wants to have that's like having a sewage plant next to
I got a lot of, well, I mean, where I personally live is not that bad, but I've got a lot of smelly recycling things around where I live. It's called cows.
Well, chicken. No, actually, you have those. Well, that's natural. Come on.
And their recycling is pretty smelly.
No, but what kind of my thing about recycling is it's always been a feel-good thing. It's supposed to make you feel good that you're doing something. We don't have a war going on, so there's not like where you're helping the war effort or you're.
Yeah, but if we have this much plastic building up, we can do things with this.
It's called a fire.
Well, not just that, man. We can use it to build things. We can, we can recycle it and make it and use it to build things. No?
I've talked to people that do plastics and recycled plastic. You can only do so much with it. It's not like, and you can't mix all these different types of plastic because they don't get along. Molecular structures and all that monkey business, they're not the same. So certain things work for certain things, but other things are not necessarily too needed. So
I have the solution for this.
What?
This is a job for the Space Force.
Space Force.
Yeah.
So we can turn recycled plastic into rocket fuel.
Yes, but also the Space Force can take all this junk and put it up in space. You know, listen, a couple of space dolphins might die. Yeah, the space whales and space polar bears will suffer.
Couldn't they make like a trash moon or something out of it?
Yeah, let's make one big massive
like a Death Star made out of out of straws. Yeah,
yeah, like Legos,
and soda bottles and aluminum foil, and yeah, sure, yeah.
I bet you if we make a plastic spaceship and float it off into space, when aliens come across that, they'll be like, "Screw this! We don't want anything to do with those guys.
They're too messy.
We're not gonna mess around with them. We'll leave them alone. We're not going in the direction that this thing came from."
Well, there's a commercial I've seen on the TV here locally where they talk about, I think it's Sweden, and they said the Swedes know how to do their stuff. They burn their garbage for fuel, which we do.
Yeah.
We do that here locally too, by the way. In
Mhm.
Pinellas County, they burn it, and there's an incinerator, and they create electricity with it.
Mhm.
That's a fuel.
There's
What's wrong
one.
with that?
There's a place like that.
That's true.
Not too far from me. I say not too far. It's probably an hour's drive or something like that. And yeah, it's a power facility, and they burn all kinds of stuff.
And
they've got filters in place and all of that stuff that filters out what's not
that's
supposed
what people
to get in
don't.
the air. And
People don't realize there's all kinds of regulations to scrub the exhaust to get the bad stuff out of the exhaust. Same with coal-fired power plants. Oh, coal's terrible. You're going to die. No, it isn't, because for 40 years we've had regulations that clean the exhaust coming out of the coal power plants. Yeah, don't burn it. Make electricity.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, realistically, there's a lot of things to be done with it. But I think we're at the point now where, like you said, all this feel-good stuff is not really doing anything.
I mean, in recycling, steel gets recycled, aluminum gets recycled, copper, all the metals all get recycled. But when you come to plastics and paper and all that, glass, glass is sand. Really, I mean, they don't collect glass here. They do in the recycling. For a while, they didn't, because they didn't have anybody to take it to redo it. There wasn't a facility close by that could remelt it and reuse it. So it costs more to ship it to the place than make the glass from raw.
Yep. Yeah. Most of the glass is done.
Uh-oh.
Now.
The government is calling Walter right now.
No, Peggy's telling me what to do, so that's all right.
Oh, okay.
She says I'm talking too much, so.
Oh no, that's good, man. I've got no problem with anything that you're saying.
Yeah, all you gotta do is just tell me to shut up, and I'll be all right.
No, you're not. I don't think you're talking too much. Yeah, I think if I was the president, I would make you the czar of plastics.
Well, once again, like I said, it's like electric cars. If you can find good uses for it, I'm all for it. Boom. If you can save some money, and let's do it. But if it's just there to make you think you're doing good things, then I don't. There's a lot better ways to get feel good than to do that. So, let's go to the moon or something if you want to feel good.
Yeah, and I'm seeing, by the way, I'm seeing news. Speaking of, we were talking about Tesla and all that stuff. If you're ordering the Model 3, they want an extra $2,500.
Oh, bless their hearts! Somebody's got to pay the rent on that tent, right?
Yeah, they will need. I'm just reading headlines. Tesla will need an additional $2,500 to confirm your Model 3 order, please. Why are people ordering these things? I don't get it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, who is that?
I know a few folks who have I know a couple people who actually have Teslas, and they are really fast and they are really cool. I mean, they got that going for them, which is nice.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not trying to knock anyone's car choices. I think you can have whatever you want. Yeah,
but I mean, it's not for me. I like my Jeep. But there's a lot of cool stuff going on there. At the same time, I don't know. I think we pretty much covered it. It'd just be a roundabout way of coming right back to it. So I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean,
Yeah, I'm not
I would feel a
knocking.
lot
I'm
better,
not
like other
knocking
people
people.
have said, if it's the free market that was driving everything and there wasn't anything else behind it.
Yeah, it's a lot like I don't know if I'm using the right wording here, but it's a lot like a Kickstarter where you pay for some new tech gadget
Right.
and
Mhm.
before you actually get it.
Well,
So I like cars. And as I've said before, I would love to build an electric car, to be honest with you. I would love to do all these kinds of things. I don't know that I necessarily have the skills. I'm into these things. I'm not knocking anyone for it. But if you really want an electric car, there's a bunch of options out there. Why would you go for this dream, for the Empress clothing of something that they cannot manufacture? They're building it literally in a freaking tent. Do you think you might have some QC problems here because the dude in the tent is going to faint?
It's to make it. I think it's more to make a statement. It's the same thing. I mean, think about the people when the newest iPhone comes out that stand in line at the Apple store or whatever for 2 days. They camp out, and they could have either pre-ordered that or walked in there a week later and bought one, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about standing in line and getting it the day it comes out at the store that makes them feel good or makes them feel like I don't know, they've got the latest, greatest, newest thing. It's more about them than it is anything.
Okay, so it's like the exclusivity
Maybe.
of the whole thing. I think there's lots of good options out there. That's what I'm saying. I just think there's a lot of good options. Even if you want electric, I think there's a lot of good options out there.
Fiat was doing electric 500 for a while. I don't know if they still are or not, but
I don't know if I've ever seen, but we're going to get all that stuff coming. And look, if it's practical, if it's sexy and all that kind of stuff, if it's got power and all of that, I get it. I'm not knocking anyone for it. It just seems like there's a little bit of bamboozling going on here, especially when they cannot actually build these things. The free market is not really working here. This is like a government subsidized vehicle that, I mean, how long are we going to keep doing it? And do you envision that Donald, like in the Trump administration, is going to come along and give these guys the billions of dollars more that they need to build factories? I don't know that they're going to be able to build those factories here. They're probably going to have to build them in China, and to build stuff in China, you have to give them your technology first of all. And then that still takes 5 years to set up. That's why they're building it in a tent here.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to talk about a car that's really cool?
Sure.
On Fox News, 1962 Ferrari worth $45 million may set auction record.
Oh my God!
A 1962 Ferrari GTO 250.
Yeah. I know. I'm pretty sure I know exactly what that looks like, but I'm gonna go search it anyway.
Yeah, they think it might go for $45 million.
I think so. I think
how would you like to get the cut off of that? As Sotheby's is probably like going, yeah, take the $45 million credit.
What is it? A GTO?
Yes, 250 GTO.
250 GTO, because I think the most expensive car sold so far was a Ferrari for like 36 million. So
I think they're talking about that here. Yes.
Yeah.
It fetched 38.1.
38.1. Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
In 2014.
Yeah, these are sexy. These are sexy Ferraris.
Yeah.
That was a good investment for whoever has it. Like, I don't know if that was restored. Or there's a lot of guys that collect these cars. They basically buy the car, put it in storage. And they buy actually multiple cars, put them in storage over there for 20, 30 years.
Just pay the power bill.
Yeah. So here's a good question to ask everyone, to get everyone involved here. What is your dream classic car? Now, bear in mind that in today's time, a 1980s car is pretty, like 70s and 80s are close to classics. So don't feel bad about saying something from 70s and 80s. What's your dream car? Let's start with Joe. Let's get him involved in here. Joe, what's your classic dream car?
I've never really been a car person. It's never really been my thing.
Right, what kind of Jeep you want?
You got a Jeep, right?
Well, there's always
I do. I have a Grand Cherokee Overland.
Nice.
And
that's actually nice. I like those.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. It's 2014. I had 130 some odd thousand miles on it now, and it is the favorite vehicle I've ever owned. I absolutely love it. It is fantastic. And
let's pull the stock axles off it and throw some Unimog axles on it, and get that sucker up in there.
No, so here's why I went with that. I went with that because I wanted something. I drive a lot. Like I said, it's 2014. I bought it with a handful of miles on it, and it's got 132,000 miles roughly, something like that. So I wanted something that was capable and that would be a joy to drive. Wouldn't I wouldn't go deaf driving down the highway all the time. And
you got winter to deal with too, right?
And winter, and I have to say that the Sensa track, control track, whatever the all-time four-wheel drive thing, you can switch it into different snow modes and all kinds of stuff. It does the best out of anything I've seen on snow and ice. It is unreal how well it does. So I like that because if I don't go to work, I don't get paid. So if I stay home and somehow there's a snow day or something, I don't get paid. So I got to go. If I don't work, I don't eat. So that's one of the reasons why I got it. Along that same lines, what would be really cool to have? One of the old Scout Internationals.
Oh, that's I'm not even bullshitting you. I wish I could show you my screen right now because that's what I was looking at.
You're looking at a Scout? Really?
I swear on my screen. Hold on. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna take a picture of my screen right now because you guys don't believe me. But that's what I was looking at here. Let me show you.
Do you know how the Scout came about?
No, but I was looking at a show with these. See that? The Scout.
There they are.
Okay. Yeah, those are so awesome. They're better than the Bronco.
The Scout, the early Bronco, and one other one were a result of a military requirement for a utility vehicle. That was International's thing, the International Scout.
So which one's easier to get nowadays? Is it the Scout or the Bronco?
Either one are tough to get a good one. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Especially
you said it's tough to get a good one or easy?
Either one is hard to get a good one.
Oh, okay.
First thing, because especially Broncos are really hot. That's old Broncos, they buy that shit up real quick. And the Scouts they rust pretty good. So they all rust good, but yeah, it's they didn't make as many International Scouts as they did Ford Broncos either. So that's another thing too.
Oh, okay. I could swear I was looking at a show, one of these car shows where they were rebuilding a Scout or something like that, and they said it was an entry-level way, but I don't see them that we never see the Scouts. We don't see the Scouts that much at the car shows.
Yeah, you don't see too many of them in Florida. I had a friend that was growing up. He had a Scout. It was his brother's, and his brother, he got it from his brother, and we used to use that thing. Had a V8. It got around good. It's a good vehicle. More than a couple liquor infused nights riding around in the Scout. So
Florida.
Yeah.
That helps with the humidity.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's pretty cool. I think the Overlander is cool too. The other thing with that, Joe, is Overlander, man. That's a zombie apocalypse vehicle.
Overland?
Yeah, the Overlander. The Cherokee. You said you have a is it, Grand Cherokee Overlander?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that you could live in that thing.
Yeah. So after SHOT Show this year, I flew out there on a Tuesday morning. I flew back late Wednesday night, and I actually folded the seats down and slept in the back of it. So you can do it. I did it that night.
Oh, yeah.
I almost froze to death. I had with me, but I mean,
Yeah, one person could do it. Yeah, I mean, two friends, but
yeah, not necessarily the whole family. Okay, let's find out from Clover. I'm coming to you, Walter, and your thing.
No, it's all right.
Those are some good choices, Joe. Like those. Clover, what's your?
I don't know. I'm not a huge car guy, to be honest with you. I mean, I see them more as a utility thing than anything. But
okay.
Probably 67 Mustang.
Okay, 67. Why the 67? Oh, okay.
I don't know. I just like the lines on that. It doesn't necessarily have to be a 67, but that's
fastback or regular.
Fastback, definitely.
Fastback, yeah. You can buy brand new bodies now for those cars.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Yeah, you can build one of the shells of those for like 20,000, right, Walter?
Yeah, that was about that.
Yeah. So you can build like no rust. Was it Ford that's making them, right?
It's another company, but they're Ford licensed. Yeah.
Yeah. So we saw those at. I think we have a video with that.
We saw that at SEMA. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you technically can build a brand new vehicle. I mean, have a pretty badass one at that. So
yeah, you can build it's a 67, the one from Bullet.
Maybe I don't know. 67.
Someone will have to tell me in the chat. My favorite Mustang is the Mach 1, I have to say, but I'm a 70s I was born in the 70s.
Will Killikello says Group B.
Group B. Oh, okay. That's
company,
yeah. The Mach 1, so awesome. The Mach 1 Mustang. It was in Diamonds Are Forever, James Bond movie.
I had a friend that had a 69 Mach 1, and that car, when he got it, was badass, and he just run that thing till it was ragged.
Yeah.
I mean, if he had that car now, it'd be one of those cars that come up for auction for like 75,000, 100 grand.
Wow.
And last time I saw it years ago, it was just like, it was a Hulk. You know, it just wore it out.
Oh.
So.
I know. I was going to buy a Mach 1, I think it was a 1972. I was going to buy a 1972 Mach 1. Lola refuses to let me buy old cars because I don't really have mechanical skills. So she does not like the idea of all the money that goes into them because I get something old and I have to fix it up. And I don't actually have the skills to save any money by actually wrenching it on it my own. You know, Walter knows this.
Yeah, I don't want to use I use a term like for boats. It turns into a black hole. So just sucks every bit of money you got to right down into the thing.
Everyone I've ever done, I've gotten, you know, I've done about 20 or maybe 30%, got about 20 or maybe 30% into the restoration and then ended up selling it.
You get tired of messing with it, or you just get bored.
I mean, it's just one of them things. Yeah, I would, but it would end up, I would get an offer that was more than what I had in it. And it's like, okay, I'm done. Okay, I'll take the check. Thank you.
Because in Texas is a good place for cars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of rust and stuff on things around here. So yeah.
So how many of those projects have you come across that you've like started it and then moved on?
I've done about 4.
Okay. All right. Okay, Lola, if you're listening, see, it's not just me. This is probably a dude thing. I don't know. I don't want to discriminate against the ladies. I'm sure there's some ladies out there that get involved in this, but
Jesse Combs.
Yeah. This is the kind of thing that dudes do the most often.
What, spend a lot of money on cars?
Yeah. So I know the hard way. All right, Walter, what's yours, man?
Well, you know, my one addiction is military vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
So, but as far as cars go,
that's not your one addiction. I
order guns. I order guns on the whim too. Yeah, but cars are hard because I have a vast, wide interest in cars. So, if I ran across a '69 Mach 1 in good shape and it was a good buy, I'd buy it. If I ran across an old Porsche that was in decent shape, I'd buy it. So,
Porsche, that would be nice.
As a youngster, I wanted to get a 914, a 6-cylinder 914, and at that time they were relatively affordable still, but now they're like nutty. So, you know, but yeah, I don't have. Well, I have a.
I think the guy that actually owns the studio that I'm renting from, I think he has a 914.
Yeah.
I would had it for a while.
I can see a new Suburban coming up in my future sometime near. But that's the Suburban that's a tool.
Yeah, you're not going to get a Bronco because I think they're going to do a new Bronco.
Funny you mentioned Bronco when we were talking about the Scout. When I see the new Bronco, I see an old Scout. It's got that same kind of rounded look to it.
The only problem with that is it's probably not gonna work for you because I think they're gonna be 2-doors. So
I got to have something that can haul some stuff.
Yeah, maybe Spencer or something would be, but I mean, I don't believe in buying new cars for the kids. That's for me.
Well, you know what happened to the first one he got, right?
Yes.
Low mileage, 40,000 mile car, and first day of school he pulled out in front of somebody, and the wheel the wheel flew off of it.
and then Spencer, what did you get Spencer, Walter, after that?
Well, now he actually has an old police car, a Malibu.
An Interceptor, basically.
Interceptor, 60,000 miles, low mileage too. And
because that's totally logical.
But he doesn't run it like that.
No, I know.
I mean, that car gets up and goes too, but he doesn't do
I think that first accident probably put the fear, like a good, healthy amount of fear in him.
The airbag went off and everything on that one. So
that probably straightened Spencer right up. So I want you guys to look this up right now. Open up a window and look this up. This is going to be mine. Okay, this is like because Joe stole my idea. the International Scout. Joe took that one, but I do have backups because I like a lot of different cars.
Yeah, because if I found an International Scout sitting, I'd buy that.
Yes,
I mean,
but if you find one of these, Walter, and you don't get it, we are going to have words. Search for the Volvo P1800, my friend.
It's not the round one, is it?
Volvo P1800. You guys should look that.
I know what you're talking.
Look that car up. If you've ever seen, like I was a kid. I lived in England when I was a kid.
Like a James Bond car.
It's the Saint. The Saint.
It's a fastback, right?
Yeah, it was from the Saint. That was a very popular British show before James Bond kind of thing. And actually, Roger Moore was the Saint, and then he became James Bond. And that car is sexy. That is a sexy. But I don't think those are probably really expensive nowadays.
That is a nice looking car.
Yeah, I don't know what the odds are of finding like one of those.
Well, I don't want to encourage your activities that'll get you in trouble, but you can always check Bring a Trailer.
Oh, Bring a Trailer?
Trailer is a website where people sell cars and
okay.
you bring the trailer.
Oh, I get it. Oh, cool.
Yeah. A lot of oddball stuff pops up on Bring a Trailer.
Yeah, I don't know how many of those even came to the US. I'm sure there was some that
production says the coupe with 39,400 and the Sport Estate was 8,000. Now, how many of those were in here? I don't know. That's total production, probably.
Yeah, but that's a beautiful. I like the lines of that car, man. That's a cool. Really sexy. And here's the thing with me though, like I don't believe in. I know Walter, you believe in restoring something to original. I don't. I'll put a massive engine in that thing.
It depends. If I found that car in somebody's old guy's garage and it was all original, low mileage, no.
Oh yeah, okay.
If I found it sitting in the alley of some place and the motor was shot and everything, yeah, let's drop a LS, drop a Chevrolet LS in it or something, boom.
Yeah. That will be so.
How about the back wheels? Put some big ass tires in the back. Yeah.
I had even on the interior, I had a 68 Pontiac GTO was one of the ones I did, and I basically put an 84, I think, Pontiac Grand Prix interior in it.
Yeah. Oh. Len Holt says Auto Trader 1964 only 49,000. I would go.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know why that made me think of this, but do you remember, Walter, when we were at SEMA show, there was a guy there that had a Prius that had a Hellcat engine in it, right? Yes. Yeah. Okay, that guy took that Prius to Jay Leno's show. I saw him on Jay Leno.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that too. Actually,
yeah.
That was definitely an attention getter for sure.
Yeah, a Hellcat engine would be so awesome in this.
There's lots of choices for that one, man. You could put all kinds of things in that.
Hellcat engine, man. And I've seen, I see some pictures of people actually resto modding those. It kind of looks like, if you ever looked at the Incredibles, Mr. Incredible, what do they call it? The Incredicar or something like that?
I guess.
Incredimobile. Somebody knows what it is out there. It kind of looks like that. I think that's a really, really super sexy look.
Well, as large as that engine compartment hood is, you can put a lot of stuff in there. So.
Yeah.
So a lot of engine in there.
Yeah, I could get lost in the quagmire of talking about cars.
Quagmire
all day.
Quagmire.
Just as much as guns, man. I'm so crazy about cars, guns. I'm getting crazy about the watches and stuff like that again.
Yeah.
Because I used to be in that whole thing, but those,
Once again, it's if opportunity knocks. Who knows? That could end up with lots of different types of cars,
We got the pants kicking in. He's right. We got 7 minutes left, and there's been very little Gorn.
Oh, okay. All right. So we got to do Gorn. What do you guys have? Okay, here you go. Clover Tack. I'm locking in on you. So, what is that? Beretta. Yeah. Okay, but you painted it.
It's hydro dipped. Yeah.
Yeah, hydro dip. There you go. It just went invisible. I didn't know you had invisible technology. I didn't know that had cloaking tech.
That's the space stuff, son.
That's that space pistol right there. Okay, let's see what. Okay, Faxon, the Faxon
carrier.
Oh, there you go. I guess that's going in your build.
It is, and I got something in here to to test it out on the 6 to 24 purple plane Mod 5 from Right On.
Okay, cool. I've never heard of that company.
Right on, man.
Right on.
Exactly. You know, they're you know, I liked what I saw before. Well, it really doesn't do me any good to look through it even at 6 power here in the thing, but we'll see how this guy does. I mean, I literally just got it in right before this. So
okay, cool. Is that going on your new rifle build, or where's that going?
I don't know exactly where it's going to wind up, but I am going to use it to test accuracy on both the spikes build I'm doing, as well as just because I want to see what that Palmetto State Armory Freedom AR will do, you know, for a sub $500 rifle. I'm going to put it on there as well. So
very cool, very cool.
I don't know where it's going to wind up eventually, but
yeah. And while we're talking about that, shout out to Palmetto State Armory that sent me this 9mm pistol.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're going to be testing this. You know, we're going to do some videos on that.
How about
when
I get that new thing I just ordered, we have a.
We'll have a shoot off.
Yeah.
We'll have a shoot off. Yeah. What else do you have, Clover? I'm giving Walter some time. What else? I know you had the Beretta there. Oh, a Bowie knife.
Ooh.
Nice handle on there.
The late 60s W49 Western Bowie.
Oh, so it's a Medikonsky made, no Chicom stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the real deal. Colorado made.
All right.
Oh, very nice. That's sexy. That's sexy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Do you carry that thing around?
That's
no,
a knife.
no.
That's a Texas knife. That's a Texas
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. That's like a prerequisite in Texas.
I chop my salad up with it.
Yeah, in case you got to shoot a rattlesnake and then eat them.
Right, exactly.
When you're at the buffet there, you use that to do your salad.
Yeah, if you got to chop that snake up into your salad, rattlesnake salad. Yeah,
you got to cut those little bitty tomatoes they have in the salad bar.
Do they eat salads in Texas? Come on now, I don't really believe that.
I like salad, but I'm
yeah.
gonna tell you something about my salad. Is it's so darn expensive is the problem, because my salad has about 837 different ingredients in it. I gotta have kinds of lettuce and spinach, and then carrots, 3 different kinds of cheeses, and 4 different kinds of meats. And
well, then I'm not getting behind you in the buffet line.
That's not. I don't know that that's really a salad, but okay.
Yeah, go ahead. If you see me at the salad bar, just go ahead and go around.
Keep going.
Yeah, Brian Quick says I'm against buffets.
Oh, okay.
With the accent.
Buffet,
yeah. Okay, Walter? What is this you have? Looks like a shark fin upside down.
Well, I got a quiz for the audience there. Tell me what this goes on.
Are there prizes involved here? Are there prizes involved?
It goes on a rifle.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of, sort of. Yeah.
Okay. Are we supposed to say what rifle?
And here's another hint. There's a big ass bipod. All right, that's another hint. And this should actually finish it off here.
It's shoulderable.
That is a carry handle for a.
Oh, it's what is that? What's that? SMG? What is that thing? One of those things that you were shooting recently at the show, right?
That's too easy. I've been shooting guns.
20mm Lathy.
What did you say, Joe?
I don't know. I'm just throwing things out.
MG Opt Out of Gun Control says MG41.
No, it's for 1919.
Oh, okay.
It's the kit to turn a 1919 more into a ground gun.
Oh, where's the rest of it?
Well, it's actually, I thought about getting it out, but it's buried where I can't get to it real easy. So.
Okay.
I have a semi-auto that I've never fired. So. Well, maybe we'll have to do that. So.
Yeah. Richard is saying FOG 42.
No, this is 1919.
1919. Yeah. That's coming in.
I have. This is actually a Israeli-made conversion kit. The Americans did the exact same thing, except just.
Oh yeah, I see the writing.
The Hebrew. Yeah, see the Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool. Hold on. Let me wait. Let me lock it on you, and then we do that again. Okay, there you go. So why does that curve there is to get more into the shoulder? Or?
Right, like when you're laying down, it sets on top of your shoulder. Yeah. You don't have to really work at keeping it there.
Okay.
As much. But yeah, they're cool. I'll have to get it out. We'll have to put it all together. And I also got a big old cone-shaped flash hider for the end of the barrel too. So.
Okay, very cool. Brian Anderson says, Hank, what's the update on your diesel 4x4 RV project? That is a good question. Don't even get Lola started on that thing. It's still out there. I still own it, and it's all stripped down. I think something happened with the engine, so we had to get a different engine because there was some kind of like getting the wiring and everything going to it. So, I mean, Lola is always telling me that, like, as Walter said, that's like a black hole, man. That's just, you know. So, and it's probably not helping that I went and got like a supercar. that's not helping anything. So I think Lola is probably going to win that argument. On
you could end up living in that RV if you're not careful.
I could.
At the junkyard, at the salvage yard.
That could seriously happen. So I really wish I could have. I don't know. I should have probably focused on that more, and I would have probably got it up and running. But you know how that goes. That's why her philosophy is like, yeah, you just need to buy these things. I think that was the last one she let me get away with, and that might probably be the last one for the rest of my life. So there you go. Okay, let's see. Joe's showing us an Olight.
An Olight rechargeable flashlight.
Oh,
I'm awesome. This guy, the video went live on this a couple days ago. I'm just going to mention it because they have their flash sale on this thing right now. It's 40% off till midnight Eastern.
Oh, cool.
Okay, cool. You've got a link. You got a link of that somewhere?
I do. Let's see. I don't know if it'll let me paste it or not. No, it won't let me do it.
Okay. I was looking for my Olight because I usually carry an Olight on me. I guess I forgot to take that this morning. Damn, I'm without a flashlight. That's never a good thing.
I will put it in here. It's 3,200 lumens. It is a bright light, especially for its size. I mean, this is like a, your standard like tack light size. So it's about twice as thick. It's the same length though.
Okay, so let me see.
How long do you get out of a battery charge? I mean, just
the battery in here is and I can't remember what the hell the name is. It is a rechargeable 26650.
Okay.
So it's like a kind of elongated D battery or C battery, something like that. Right. You get. Remember.
Is there different power settings on that, or
Yeah. So you get low, which is that one. Medium, I think low is 60. Medium is like 400. High is 1500, and then turbo.
Supernova
is supernova. Yeah, is well, it's hard to. The camera's not gonna.
Yeah, weapons grade.
Right, weapons grade is 3,200 lumens, and so the 3,200 lumens runs for a few minutes.
Right.
Yeah, it runs for a few minutes and then steps down gradually to like 1,500 lumens.
Okay.
And you get like 2 hours at 1,500 lumens on this thing. Medium, like 400 lumens, you wind up getting, I don't know, a lot of time, like a bunch of hours. And then at 60 lumens, you get something like 7 or 8 days.
Okay, so at the low settings, it lasts quite a while.
Yeah, you have to go through the thing. I don't want to misquote because I've been going through a bunch of lights lately and trying to get the exact times here.
Yeah, we should do like a whole show on flashlights because I think they're really important. Everyone should have multiple flashlights.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So we should do that. So I know before we wrap up here, let's find out like what other things. Clover, what kind of videos you have coming out, man? What kind of stuff you working on?
Mainly until we get some of the camera situation going, it's mostly the live streams, which are Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Mm-hmm. All right, very cool. So how do people tune into those?
Easiest way to get the schedule, clovertech.com, and also all the social media links and all of that goodness, as well as the swag and everything else. It's all right there.
All right, awesome. Walter, what kind of stuff do you have going on?
Speaking of swag, Clover, you get my stuff?
I did, yes, sir.
Okay. Just want to make sure you got it.
I think I've got something from Clover here too. Where the heck is it?
Yes, it does.
I don't even know.
What? All right. Well, anyways, as Pasco's chasing his swag.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to it. I got the patch from CloverTech. I just don't know what I did with it.
Well, that's okay. You'll find it. Yeah. Quit looking for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Walter. Sorry.
If anybody hasn't seen it, the HK stock that I put up on the the latest version. We have the final version this afternoon, actually, for the normal HK MP5. It's going to look quite nice, I must say.
Okay.
Saving the day. Saving the
Lola
day.
found it. There you go. There it goes.
Did she find it? Did she find it, or did she steal it from you?
I probably put it in the outside, so that's she saw it out there. So there you go, man. Thanks a lot for that. Very cool. That's a very cool patch, by the way.
Yeah. By the way, very nice patch. Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So you were saying that the HK stock is out?
Yeah, the straight up MP5 stock. Yep. Last part is on. Oh my. I got a guy at my shop working right now. I got to go shut the shop down. He was finishing the stuff off for me, so I might have to keep it short here. But anyways, yeah, the MP5 stock. We're turning the latest version for the straight MP5. We're gonna come out really nice. A lot of interest in that already. Facebook, Instagram. Keep watching. Okay. I'll keep posting.
Yeah.
But I got to run. So.
Okay. All right, Walter. All right, cool. Go take care of that. Walter and I, I've got a video that I'm going to be releasing soon with Walter, myself, and Mike from ATI Outdoors. So you guys, that's coming up soon. Shooting the Sten gun. Yep.
And as soon as I get that new one in, we're going to do some videos. So.
All right. Very cool. All right, very cool. Thanks a lot, Walter.
Talk to you later. See you.
All right.
Walter.
Yeah. And Joe, are you going to go to Instagram?
I am. I'm running about 5 minutes late. Normally, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. We do Fridays with 13C. I'll normally have an adult beverage and hang out and answer questions and just, do whatever.
Absolutely. So we're going to wrap this up so Joe can go do that. And then I'm actually going to jump on. I'll jump on with that for a couple of minutes before I leave here. So I invite everyone that's watching the chat right now that's on Instagram, go to 13C Gun Reviews. Okay, Clover, you too. You're welcome to if you got time for it, my friend.
Well, welcome to pop over.
Yeah, so everyone join us over there. We're wrapping this up. There was an email newsletter that went out today. If you want to be part of that newsletter, it's hankstrange.tv. Go there, put in your email address. You want to support us, we're on Patreon/HankStrange. Thanks to everyone who does support us on there. To all the folks that sponsor us, ATI Outdoors, Safety Harbor Firearms, Andrews Custom Leather, Big Daddy Guns. Okay, we are out of here. We're wrapping it up. Go to 13C Gun Reviews right now. We're going over there. We're out. Peace. Have a great weekend.
See you soon.
Yep. See you guys on Monday. We are out.